This episode, shareholders, is brought to you by 4X Gold. The beer we drink here, the beer we drink up there, and the beer we drink everywhere.
Just 4X Gold.
4X Gold, 4X Ginger Beer, 4X Ultra.
Yeah, 4X Ultra. Yeah, that counts.
Ring a ding ding. 4X is the king.
Yeah, mate. Well done. Cheers, shareholders.
Where's the Queensland spirit now?
You counted us out. You told us we were fuckwits. You said it couldn't happen. You said it wouldn't happen. You weasels. Weasels with an exclamation mark from down south. Are weasels for a reason, baby. Queensland, level the series, Berkey.
I am Berkey.
Mate,
and I am up and about.
I'm still up and about because, you know, they did the unthinkable. Not to us, but everyone else that fucking said they couldn't. They did it.
Mate, everything that should have happened did happen.
Yeah.
Like the build-up as per a normal state of origin was as perfectly scripted as a Queenslander as you could imagine.
They had to do it, and they knew it.
It was just... You know, it's funny because I came here this afternoon, shareholders, and you would have known it's a Monday, and there was just that gorgeous skyline just telling us that the Olympic City, the Sunshine State...
We're alive and well.
We are bubbling.
We're thriving.
Yeah, bubbling.
Yeah. There's aura in the air.
There is aura.
Queensland aura.
And, you know, if you think we're past game 2, think again.
Yeah. It's going to happen again because you know what I love the most about the whole thing is that it happens every year.
Yeah.
Every year. Every fucking year. In one way or about, we defy the media, all the critics, everyone who whinges and says, oh, well, this is the start of a dynasty for New South Wales. Can I just remind you, everyone, that they've won one series in a row? Totally. And the chat about this dynasty is now completely just void and gone.
Well, that's right. Well, we got to win game 3.
But they're talking sweeps, you know.
Yeah, put your fucking broomsticks away for one and clean up your own backyard before you think you're going to clean us up.
Yeah.
What I will say is, and you know, this is just funny from the Weasels, is they tried everything. Before game 2, they even brought out fat fuck Woodsy and tried to get him to throw a little grenade, and not even he could do. He did nothing during his rugby league career, and he's doing nothing for Triple M. And as per usual, they thought they could rattle the kid. They thought they could rattle this state that wakes up every morning and smiles and says how good it is to be a Queenslander. Just a state that grew up with nothing.
Yeah.
And we're still getting it done on the big stage.
He's unrattleable.
He is unrattleable.
We're unrattleable.
We are. I mean, you know, he came out Slater and he might have, you know, said some things that he takes back, but like a man that he is,
he owned up to it.
He owns it. Whereas Weasels down south couldn't own anything, let alone a fucking state of origin.
And
series.
the media loved again. Everyone, the journos loved that he said that, and they played it up and said how bad of a bloke he was.
Yeah. And once again, they tried to go back on his playing career.
Got nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. And, you know, it was he got emotional, Billy, but I can't get over the changes because we kind of questioned his changes.
I have a theory about it. I thought about it.
Go.
Do you want to hear it?
I'm not going anywhere.
I kind of reflected on it, and like everyone, I thought it was more tactical what he did, and we thought as well he might change it and put in Carrigan. He might start Nanai over Loiero and Capewell. But I think having game 3 here last year and they lost into game 1 this year and they lost. I don't know if that's like that hasn't happened in a while. I don't think Billy would have been too happy about it. And I remember I saw some videos or photos of him in the sheds laying down the law after that game 3 loss, because that was 2 series in a row going into a third series. I think Billy was having his own start of a dynasty thoughts in his head.
Totally.
For 3 in a row. And then losing game 1, I reckon he gave him you dropped. Like, I think he genuinely dropped Carrigan, Nanai, and Lindsay Collins to the bench to prove a point and go, if you guys can't do it here at Suncorp, I'm going to bring in Trent Loiero, Kurt Capewell, Kurt Mann, people that I think that can do the job. That's what I honestly think he did. I was thinking about it, and what do you reckon?
Mate, if it was what he did, it was a fucking masterstroke.
Fucking oath.
Ruben Cotter and Kurt Capewell were outstanding. Harry Grant was just Harry Grant.
Harry played the full 80, killed it.
52 tackles.
Capewell was my man of the match.
So he was my man of the match too.
I didn't know that he had I know he can tackle, but he was jamming blokes, lifting and shit. Like I've never seen Payne Haas, love you Payne, but I haven't seen Payne Haas get stopped in his tracks and lifted.
Agreed.
He one-on-one.
Yeah. No, it was Tommy Dearden, Munster. Money is just...
He went to another level.
Money is money.
What everyone thought and said he was going to do. But God, it takes some stones to do it. He would have been nervous as all hell, all pressured on him.
That rocky soil in his boots. Not sure how he got it through customs.
Last week, I kind of was just going to flow about that. I had no idea what you were talking about, but then I realised it after the pod.
Yeah, a lot of the times you don't really know what you're talking about.
I just thought I'll let the kid go.
Yeah, you got to let me go here for a second.
Please.
Because if you follow me on the social shareholders, you would have seen that I posted minutes before, hours before, that it was going to be one of the great ambushes that this country's ever seen, right? And, as per usual, once again, absolutely bang on the money. It was one of the great ambushes. But I thought about it even longer, and I thought that the ambush we saw last Wednesday night might actually be compared to some of the great ambushes in modern history, let alone ancient history. I compare it to some of the ambushes that can be called Hannibal's destruction of the entire Roman army in Italy, June 21, 217 BC. That was the sort of ambush that when I look back on it, that is an ambush. Another ambush that I can...
You're going to the history books.
Well, you know what I'm like.
I'm not familiar with Hannibal's work.
Destruction of the Roman Empire was one of the great ambushes, but what the Queenslanders did in Perth last Wednesday was of similar nature.
Yeah.
There's the Nile crocodile.
The Nile crocodile.
The Nile crocodile. It's one of the great ambushing animals. So I don't know if they had a Nile crocodile, but there was a sense, the way they were acting, it was of Nile. It was of Nile
dribbler.
Crocodile.
Absolute dribbler.
But then it gets even better. There was an ambush that happened on Saturday night called Operation Midnight Hammer.
Yeah.
That it was very similar to.
Tell us what happened there.
Well, Operation Midnight Hammer, Donald Trump decided to pull the trigger on Iran. And let me tell you, I thought they were talking about me on Friday night, the way they were describing Operation Midnight Hammer.
Where do you reckon they got that name from?
Probably me on Friday night, because they call it. Have you seen those? Those planes that they use?
The B-52s.
The B-2 bombers?
B-2, okay.
These things...
The stealthy triangle ones.
Mate, they're 50 metres wide. 50 metres wide. When you look at them on a radar, on the radar, it's like it's just a bird flying in the sky. They are untraceable.
If they can pick it up, yeah.
You can't pick up the B-2 bomber. And let me tell you, when DJ-12's in a mood, whatever you want to call him, mate, he lets rip. Now, he just got a little sidetracked there.
Yeah, that's fine, but ambushed. They ambushed.
But it was search up, shareholders, if you've got the time, Hannibal's destruction of the Roman Empire.
How does it compare?
It's a very similar nature.
Yeah.
What happened was there was a bunch of weasels in the Roman Empire.
Naturally.
And naturally Hannibal said, I've had enough.
You know who is? Like, you've seen the movie Gladiator?
Yeah.
The weasel, what's his name?
Russell Crowe.
No. He ain't no weasel. The other one that he kills, that subsequently kills him too. The Emperor.
The Emperor.
He's a weasel. The Emperor of that movie.
Yeah, he's a proper weasel.
Yeah, like a bit incest as well, which doesn't surprise me. Like he likes his sister.
You get that from the
weasels.
South of the border. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? You two brainiacs didn't pick up on it, but there's not much between your two earlobes, the pair of ya. That happened on June 21st. Game 2, June 19th.
How did you, have you gone into the history books or what?
History's been something that I hold deeply to my heart. I mean, obviously with the Smarter Than Berkey.
Well, this is another thing, we won't get into it too much, but there is a waxing crescent starting on Thursday. Broncos play 2 days later.
Yeah, well, that's cash.
You know, that's
is that against the Waz?
That's against the Waz. Daytime game, which we broke the hoodoo, but I want to stay on Origin still.
Stay on Origin. There was another thing I picked up, and there was a lot of things. As you know, I'm not only am I celebrating, but I'm dissecting the game as
you do. You're an analyst.
As I do. I spoke to a lot of GMs after the game, and one of their big things that they told me about was, culture starts in the change rooms, but culture also comes from playlists. Now, if you got a chance to check out what was going on in the Queensland sheds, not only were they singing "Ya Ya Yippee Yippee Ya" and crunching 4X golds like it was no thing, they also had Three Little Birds by Bob Marley playing.
Did they?
Now, if you were to take it back 3 weeks and see what fucking was getting played in Weasel locker room.
Yeah, look,
it was like 194 or whatever dumb rapper they listened to from the fucking bush.
Yeah.
What's he called? Whatever fucking big bloody Mount Druitt rapper. But you know what I mean? Three Little Birds is an absolute trap.
It's a banger. Bob Marley, the great.
And you know what I mean? Like, there wasn't a bit of chuff going around there, but there might have been a bit going
Couple
around.
Couple golds.
Plenty of
Isn't it just right that when they sing their song, "Ya Ya Yippee, Ah Ya Yippee," that they're bashing 4Xs around?
Totally.
That the juice is going everywhere.
And getting led by the great man, Alf.
They don't have an Alf.
They don't have an Alf.
You're right. It starts in the locker room.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And who would be their Alf? Robbie Farah?
No.
That's honestly, dude.
No, they've got a peanut that's their water boy who is a wannabe Alf. He's any day from doing a hammer, you can see it. I saw him when I went to game 1. I saw him warming up and I was like, God, you're a wanker.
Do you reckon Alf warms up?
Fuck no. Alf warms up by coming to the Caco for a quick couple of jars and then meets the team at Suncorp.
Vodka Red Bull's his Powerade.
Alf would roll in if there was an 8 o'clock kickoff at the Cauldron. He'd come here at 3. He'd put on a quaddie at Ipswich, get a few pots under the belt. He'd come here in his fucking Waterboy kit, and then he'd just wander down and see the boys at 5. And
that's funny because he filled up his the water bottles with vodka Red Bull when he was here. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mate, there you go.
Yeah. Giving the boys a bit. No, he's got that one labelled for himself.
Labelled.
Yeah.
Another thing that I noticed, and we might have the great Queensland mole, and the dead shits from down south couldn't pick up on it. Not sure if you saw Mitch Marsh and his brother, what's his brother's name? Sean Marsh, actually spoke to the Blues maybe a couple nights before.
I saw that.
Did a speech. Well, what happened Wednesday night at the end of full time? Mitch Marsh is in the Queensland sheds with a fucking Maroons jersey on the goal.
Bullshit.
Not joking.
Bullshit.
No, I'm not joking.
The Pit might have to find that. Pit Squared might have to find that.
So shout out to Mitch Marsh because he not only did he fool the Weasels, but he fooled everyone, but not us.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So it's perfect. He probably told him all this shit that he doesn't actually live by.
Is that the Bison?
The Bison.
Yeah.
Like, what an Aussie legend. Not only does he say, yeah, pay me fucking $5,000 and I'll do a speech, he's led him astray.
He's infiltrated.
He's led him astray.
Yeah.
And then he's had the audacity just to roll into the Queensland
What do you think they said? Like, to compare it to, like, what, you know?
It makes no sense.
Yeah. Like, what genius got that up? Got the idea in their head, let's get Mitch Marsh in.
Tell you what,
and Sean.
I tell you what, he's led him astray, and I couldn't be prouder of the Bison because he's always had the traits of a good bloke, and that's just on full display.
Like Lindsay Collins, who made an absolute mockery out of Spencer.
Oh my God,
Spencer the speed bump, as I like to call him.
Great and well said.
Yeah, it wasn't. You know when you go over a speed bump, and then there's a second one, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
That's Spencer.
Yes, that unnecessary speed bump.
The unnecessary speed bump, which Lindsay thought was necessary to put him in his place.
And then giggle at him when he's going over the speed bump.
Do you know what I saw that? Mate, I was trying to find that video so many times because they only show the first one where Spencer doesn't they both bounce off and Spencer hits the ground, but Lindsay stays up and goes into the other two players. The second one makes Spencer look so bad because he does. Lindsay walks over him, laughs at him, and pushes him in the fucking neck as he's doing it. Grinning with him with missing tooth grin.
He's a bad hombre, Lindsay Collins, for all the right reasons, but
he scored a
good meaty.
He scored a good try, as he does.
A shareholder asked me on Saturday night, does the New South Wales team song sound like a school carnival song?
Yes.
We can't hear ya. Yeah. Who are ya? When you're South Wales, I can't hear ya. Who are ya? It's like...
Oh, that's good.
Fucking pom-poms and shove it up your what.
It's one of those ones where, you know, when they either sing it or they have to have a sheet of paper or you've got someone leading the song and then they repeat it.
Yeah.
That reeks of we don't sing it enough or we don't know it. We don't know the song, so we got to have someone leading it off the front. Stephen Crichton.
Where's our little cheerleader with the fucking boombox?
Toa got pom-poms and shit?
Yeah, literally. Jeez, he had a good game.
He is good.
Because we do to give our flowers to the opposition.
Did he get 3?
Yeah.
3 and about 240.
He was almost unstoppable.
He's a... I don't think they win the series, obviously, but if they were to, he'd be a good shout for man of the series.
You said that.
Because he would have got a lot of votes from the other night.
He reminds me of is Matt Utai.
Yes.
You know, Matt Utai was just close, like 5 meters from the line and would always score, like just burrow his way in. Like
one of the great wingers
Matt
of the
Utai.
modern generation.
And he could handle a high ball. They could both handle a high ball despite being short. I was going to say, Lindsay Collins reminds me of Brad Thorne back in the day because he could handle a high ball.
What were our thoughts around the embarrassing post-game drag on about the officials?
Oh.
Yeah, if I was in New South Wales, I feel like I would probably be saying the same shit if it was the other way around. But, bruh, like... The Sixer games made it not as bad, and the game doesn't have to be like equal. It doesn't have to be 50-50. You should both be getting rub of the green and whatever on the 50-50 calls. But just because you're ill-disciplined, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
Which New South Wales were horribly ill-disciplined in the first half. They sorted it out, and look what happened. They came back.
Well, that's been the story of the series. Whatever team's going to be disciplined wins. We were so shit in game one.
The grub that he is, Luau fingering fucking the face of Cotter.
Out of the 8 first half
silly penalties,
like 4 of them were just dumb penalties.
That's their fault.
Essentially, it's 4-0.
Yeah.
If they weren't, and Matty Johns come out and said
it's bullshit.
He said all New South Welshman are blaming the refs. He said we were ill-disciplined.
At the same time, I will say, and I have always said it, if you listen to the pod, Ashley Klein is the worst referee in the NRL, and he deserves to either. Mate, he is hands down the worst ref.
Lutzy Jr. is pretty bad.
No, well, he's not coaching Origin, which is the biggest game of the year.
Who?
Lutzy Jr. Why are we giving Ashley Klein the golden whistle?
Well,
why is he coaching grand finals?
Don't give it to Lutzy Jr. either. He's shocking.
I like G. Adam G.
Yeah, ever since that Broncos Panthers final, they've gone off it.
Why? He was given the and they were the best games.
What about the other bloke who shags one of the touches? What's his
Badger.
name? What's his name?
Badger's retired.
No. There's one that he did the Roosters Cows game yesterday. Jared Sutton.
Oh.
I think Sutton throws the leg over with one of the touches allegedly. Is it
Jared
Sutton?
Sutton.
Or
Oh,
is
he's
it-
all right.
There's another one.
I reckon G's the best.
Mate, the penalties at the end of the day, when Zach Lomax thinks he's in the fucking octagon throwing elbows at our boy Trent Loiero, and then you've got the knob of the year doing
Fingering
knob
eyes,
of the year
yeah.
shit where he's, fingering fucking Ruben Cotter.
I don't know if you saw it, but did you see Harry Grant finger someone?
No, he did the hopawadi.
He hopawadi'd.
Yeah.
Harry hopawadi.
It was and he kept going
Yeah.
too. It was
He kind of did the find the video trail. It's fucking hilarious. He kind of got like his fingers ready to go and then jammed.
Well, he
don't know why.
He
And then
hopped it and then he went again.
he wedgied.
Yeah, he must know that Cleary. Tell you what, Mary Fowler's going to need to give Cleary more than a rub down if he's good to go for game 3. Like, fair dinkum. If I'm Cleary, I'm getting Mary Fowler on the next Boeing 747.
Trell's just saying the fingering.
Jesus.
He poo fingered him.
You wouldn't want to be Harry Grant's missus.
Was it?
Look at that.
Well,
Who did he poo finger?
It was Cleary.
Yeah,
Really?
It was Cleary. Yeah.
Yeah. And I reckon that they've stayed in the rooms together when they've travelled overseas for Australia. I reckon there's a backstory there. Or he's seen Mary go up the dot of Cleary maybe behind closed
reckon he likes
doors.
a pegging?
Who knows?
Cleary
But
the pegger.
There's something in that from Harry.
I want to say I hate that all the a lot of Queensland people, although it might be true, Cleary's never dominated an Origin game or a series. He's a fucking freak. Like if he would, he's won 4 premierships.
He still hasn't
right?
dominated an Origin.
But
I feel like he's won Origin series, right? I don't get the Cleary hate.
No. And
Well, no, I'll give you the Cleary hate if you go, and then I'll
they
rebuttal.
expect him to do what he did against the Broncos in that grand final for 80 minutes every game, which is just not going to happen.
There's three games of Origin.
His try just quickly was not a try. If anyone ever fucking says
No,
it
that
is,
wasn't
that was not a
anyone
try.
said
And that's another
A lot of
penalty.
people brought it
Like,
up.
they wonder where these 8 penalties come
Yeah.
from. If you go through and work out, mate, they were all fucking penalties. And then you look at all the 6 agains they got in the second half.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Like, put a sock in it.
But the Cleary thing.
The Cleary thing, mate, at the end of the day, you've got to dominate Origin. If you can't dominate Origin, zip it. You're a great club player, but you ain't done it on the big stage.
I'd still have him as as the 7 for Australia.
Who comes in for him if he's not fit?
Well, Metcalf's out.
Is he?
Metcalf did his quad as well.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's under, and he could barely run in the game he was playing. He stayed on the field. Katoa
Yeah, I'd go with the young blood.
I was listening
massive
to someone the other day
in a decider.
and they're not going to pick Burton, are they?
No, and they're not going to pick Nico Hines.
They've had every opportunity to pick him.
Yeah, no, he's a genuine 18.
Will they go Nico?
Guy. No, they wouldn't go Nico.
Yeah.
I
They've
feel
ruined
so
his career.
sorry for Nico. They've ruined his career.
Now they've ruined Burton's.
Burton's is done.
Yeah.
Luai's might as well be done. Mate, they all said Luai had a blinder. Jeez, he made some. I'll tell you what, that if I was Queensland, Latrell looked so disconnected in defence, it was fucked. Like, I'd be pinging it down that right-hand edge
Well, that
all
was
day.
where they dominated us against Toya.
Well, down their right-hand edge, yeah.
Their left-hand edge.
Yeah.
Our
Bobby
right hand, their
Toya,
left.
jeez. He needs to know how to hold the Steeden.
I feel like they just don't. They're not. It's like a new combination. So it's Hammer, not a winger, kept jamming. Toya, young centre, and Dearden. They're the 3 that for Queensland they looked a bit disjointed. You said that about Latrell and them.
Yeah.
I reckon that's where Toa scored his 3 tries.
Dearden and
They just they'll slide.
Oh,
they'll learn to slide.
That's an easy fix up north. We'll get that fixed in 5 minutes.
Billy will have someone onto it.
Yeah,
He'll be
that's a 5-minute meeting.
Does if you got a fully fit Reece Walsh?
No.
Fair. I'd say the same thing.
No, Ponga stays.
You don't change your winning side.
Ponga's a bit like everyone's come out and they're quick to fucking get stuck into Ponga. He dropped a few pills, mate. It's a bit like Harry Grant.
Yeah.
And they talk about his covering defence. Some of his defence, like he's not going to stop fucking Brian Toto with all due respect when he's
they don't
running.
know footy if they're saying that.
Val Holmes did a bad miss on Cry.
Yeah. I was just giving him a rap in defence and then that try happened.
'Cause he jammed someone.
that set.
He belted someone after that, I think.
Was it after?
Yeah. I reckon Ponga had a better game than Edwards.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. It was like he didn't play.
Dylan who?
Yeah. Was he playing?
He's gone missing.
Was he playing? Or?
Oh, I think there was someone running around in a number 1 jersey.
I didn't know. Did Spencer have a hit up?
Yeah, he looked weak.
We kicked it to him, and he made 0 post contact meters.
One thing I will say about Spencer was, and sportsmanship's a big thing. Great to see
Ezra.
after the game him and Ezra Man.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the 5 words in his vocabulary that Spencer's got to say, but I hope one of them's "I'm sorry," which I'm sure it was. But he's not the brightest thing in the world, Spencer. So it would have been like, "Sorry, bruh, Eshe, bruh, let's go, bruh." Like, you know what I mean? Like. They would and Ezra's just like, "Chair, bruh."
Yeah.
And then
Ezra would have had a real eloquent response.
Yeah.
Hey man, I appreciate that. Thank you for that. I'll see you in a couple of weeks when the Broncos dust you.
Well, are they playing the Chooks soon?
I hope so.
Both teams will probably go in unchanged, except for Cleary.
Yeah.
He'll be right, you'd think.
Payne Haas is under an injury cloud, although he dominated the Sharks forward pack.
You know what I found very interesting, and this was just classic journos trying to fuck us over, was how the Cleary thing went unscathed and no one knew about it. Was props to New South Wales.
Yeah.
Because I was shocked, and good to know they can rely on Luai's
there was 3 of
first kick out on the full.
There was 3 of them that didn't train. Cleary, Payne Haas, and then one other player. I can't remember who it was. They didn't train or do anything until the captain's run. Or maybe they even missed the captain's run. I don't know. But they were doing separate training sessions the entire camp. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
well
no
done for
wonder
them
they're
to keep it
not
under wraps.
connected.
Yeah.
There's a bit going on there. Well, let's get in. You got more.
Before we do that, I've got a special segment of Are You Smarter Than, which is Origin based for you. So I reckon while we're on Origin,
we'll go straight into it.
Get straight into it, Koa.
Yeah. Well, let's play the.
Welcome to Are You Smarter Than Berkey?
I'd love to know how Trelly would go in these too. He fucking walks out of here like he's Einstein, and I can almost assure you he's got no idea.
Do you know what I wish we did here is that you did some questions about this, because I reckon I'd dust you in this shit.
Yeah,
Origin questions, Origin-based questions. You can do it next week.
Yeah, you got to
sure.
teach Trelly how to use a laptop first.
Yeah. All right, well, playing on at home, in your car, at the gym, as we say. Do you like that I say that? I kind of say it every week.
There's a lot of people could be playing it when they're in bed making sweet love too.
Could be rubbing one out listening to our voices.
I respect the hell out of that if so. I'm not far behind you.
All right, so here we go. It's a bit of a longer segment here, but about 5, 6, 7 questions. I think we got 5 questions. So, number 1. Who was nicknamed the Axe?
Trevor Gilmeister.
Well done. There was a bit of a call for harder questions for you because they're getting too easy.
Please.
But we'll see how you go with these.
Apologies that I'm smart.
This one will be a bit harder, and you keep track of how many he gets here, okay? Name all Queensland captains.
Oh, fucking hell. Beatson, Mal, Wally, Smith, Lockyer, Gordy, GI at some point.
You've got 7 there, not 8.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to give you the 8th one while I'm there. DCE, Munster. How many are there out of curiosity?
Yes.
I'm going to say, so you get the ones where they might, I think there might be 11.
Nah, because you've got 9.
Yeah, and how many are there?
There's 16, so you've got 6 more.
Jesus Christ. You've got to say I've gone off to a red hot start. There's going to be a couple that I know that just surprise. Oh, great work, Berkey. Lamb.
Well done.
Yeah, baby.
Well done.
Yeah.
That is a very good one.
Thank you.
So that's 10.
For the ones played at home.
You got another 6.
Okay. See, there's just a couple of smokies, I can tell.
You're missing a few obvious ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? A few obvious ones. I'm trying to think if there's any that. Lamb's a big one.
That's a huge get.
That's like
that's a huge get.
That's like backing a 40 to 1 winner.
And I'll give you a little
Saturday.
stat. It was 8 games during the Super League era.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, that's the era that might have me a little rattled.
I reckon I've got a clue for him that won't actually help him that
did
much, but it's a good
Kevy Walters?
Yep.
There you go.
Well done.
Jesus.
There's another one that has also coached the Queensland Maroons side.
Was also coached.
Did you say Alfie?
Yeah, I said Alf.
Did he? I don't think he did, but it's an obvious one.
No, he didn't.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I did.
I don't think you did.
Yeah.
But you got to think of, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
say?
no, he did. He did.
Yeah,
he
I did. Thank
he
you.
did.
Yeah.
He did.
Did you say?
No, don't say it. I'm thinking he coached like what it was a head coach.
Yeah, so you've already said Mal and Kevy.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that head coached.
Oh.
There's one other.
Fatty.
Yep.
Bang.
Well done.
Jesus
Well done.
Christ.
If you get all these without getting any wrong, I will take my hat off to you.
I must be. How many do I have left?
I think he's missing a real obvious one.
Yeah, you are.
a real obvious one.
There's one you won't get, but it's like
He should.
yeah.
Oh, well, this is fucking.
He was one game captain. Played many games, but it was a one game captain. There's a few sort of like that, but
I was thinking. I don't know. I was wondering if it was like an Ashley Harrison or something.
Nah.
Sorry, there is one more that still that coaches.
What, Thurston?
no, Thurston doesn't
Head
coach.
coach.
Oh, well, he's head coach now.
Well, that's going to give it away, isn't it?
And he captained Queensland. He's a head coach now.
God.
What's going on here?
Think about it.
Yeah, well, fuck, if you stop looking at me, you prick, I might be half a chance.
Use that big noggin of yours. I think he's missing the most obvious one. He hasn't said it yet.
Well, now that I've pointed it out to him.
And
He said Lockyer.
yeah, I said Lockyer. Fucking hell. Yeah, turn it. Mate, can you blokes count?
Okay. No, because I
Oh,
forgot
look,
what you said.
I'm having a
It's so obvious.
Stop
Like, you
saying
keep-
it's obvious.
You keep saying it, basically. I got to just give it to
I'm
him,
gonna get
'cause
a
otherwise
headache.
we're in a fucking...
Yeah, just say it.
Slater.
Oh,
Billy Slater.
Did he captain?
One game.
And you missed the axe, Gilly. Trevor Gilmeister, captain too.
Well, that's bullshit. I said him at the start.
The only other one that you missed was Webke, I think.
Shane Webke, one
Yeah,
game.
I was going to say, I knew it was a front rower.
The fact that you probably had some time, you would have probably gone close. Ashley Harrison wasn't a bad guess.
Oh, yeah, I feel like, mate, I know he captained the
a-
Titans.
Like had someone been injured, he probably would have been.
Yeah, he's-
Oh, you'd probably think Kronk or Thurston.
Maybe
Like it's-
six
isn't
other
that-
blokes
isn't it?
could
Yeah,
have
yeah,
potentially
yeah. Nate Miles and Petro and shit.
Nate Miles was someone that I wouldn't have been surprised if he captained our
That's
great
yeah,
state.
yeah. Well, he was apparently a massive leader in that forward
Oh,
pack when they
totally.
went. But that's quite good for him. I think he was 13 from 16.
Yeah,
That's very
take
good.
it,
Very
take
good,
it. Thanks,
Berkey.
mate.
Now I've got if you want to have a crack at this, you can, but I might just help you.
No,
See how you
right.
go.
I'll have a crack.
New South Wales captains.
Oh,
How many is there?
And first of all, guess how many there are, and this will tell you.
Could be about
what.
32.
Yeah, full 22.
Yeah.
That's pick and stick for you, bruh.
Yeah, fucking oath, bro. And
Brett.
also, too, like, couldn't give a shit, but I'll give you a few peanuts off the top. Minicello.
Wrong.
Yeah. Danny Badiris.
Yeah, and he was.
Fitzgibbon?
Do you know what is crazy? Is I'm pretty sure Danny Badiris was their longest serving captain.
Yeah.
Of 15 games.
He's just shy.
Old Buds, they called him.
Who was?
Budsy.
Budsy.
Gallon was
Gallant,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
by a game.
16 was he? Okay.
I'll,
Well, that says more, doesn't it?
I'll name you some of the great peanuts to lead out New South Weasels. Badiris, Gallon, Gidley off the bench, which
Yeah,
is one of the greats.
Just hilarious.
Isaiah Yo.
Yeah, well done. You got the current one.
I'll give you the current.
Well, you forgot the current captain,
Of what?
the coach. The coach, our current coach, who was captain. Sorry, go on. Sorry,
yeah,
mate.
sorry, mate. Who else let out those fucking wankers? I just don't give a shit.
Fair enough. Hey, mate.
There's the answer, Sauce.
Fair enough.
Next
Hey,
question.
that's 22 from 22. Well done. I'll name them off for you. So, Tommy Rodonigus.
Oh, one of the only greats.
One of the greats, of all time. And he captained the first game with Artie, who also, they only captained one game each.
You don't
which
need
is
to
a good
give us a
start.
history lesson on all these captains.
Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
One game as well. Matt Rogers' dad should have been a
good bloke.
Queenslander.
Yeah.
Was a Queenslander. Max Krilich, Ray Price, Steve Mortimer, Wayne Pearce, Peter Sterling, Gavin Miller, Ben Elias, Laurie Daly,
Oh, yeah.
Brad Fittler, Jeff Tuvey, Andrew Johns. How many did he captain? This will startle you.
2.
6. Would have thought it was more than that.
Shocked we're still talking about New South Wales captains.
All the self-proclaimed best Origin player.
Well, what about, just before you go the next question, fucking, the voice of rugby league, Gus Gould, coming out and saying he sees no way how Queensland can win.
Oh, I loved it.
Once again, just another brainiac comment from Gus Gould.
That should be clipped too. And then just, in some way.
This guy has been around the game for so long and been on the receiving end of that many losses, and he's their greatest coach.
And
still doesn't get it.
Has tickets on himself like no one else. And then every year just say the same thing and we'll fucking defy it.
Gus,
every
when will you learn, pal?
Wouldn't he know?
You would think
Wouldn't
he would
just
know.
have the memory that shit happened?
But he's the captain of a state that doesn't get it.
Yeah. Anyway, the Badiris, Gidley, Trent Barrett,
still
Gallen,
going.
Robbie Farah, captain 2.
Oh.
Yuck. Boyd Cordner. Was a great.
I loved Boyd Cordner.
Tedesco, Jake T, and then Isaiah Yo.
Oh, well.
Crazy. And we don't pick and stick. I
crazy.
think I've asked you this before, but we'll go with it. Where was the first ever game of State of Origin played? Guess I haven't.
No, you haven't. You definitely haven't. If it wasn't Lang Park, it'd be somewhere in fucking some shithole in New South Wales.
It was Lane Park.
Oh,
but were you
bingo.
just dancing around the question? As
Yeah,
usual?
trying to.
Yeah. This one for you. Who holds the most man of the matches and how many?
That's a great question. It's a great question. I think it's Wally Lewis.
Hence why the medal's named after him.
Makes sense.
How many did he get?
6.
8.
Bingo.
30 games, played 29 as captain.
How many's Munster got?
How many men of the match? I
He's
think
got
it's 3.
3, yeah, now. Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked from Wally? 20, obviously played first ever game with Artie,
Yeah.
and he played 29 of his 30 games as captain.
As Joey John says, he is the king.
And made his debut that year for Australia and was the only Queensland-based player in that Australian side, despite them winning that series as well.
Outstanding.
Against France. All right, well, that does it. Hope you enjoyed, shareholders. You got all of them right pretty much, nearly, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Just a couple that I'll work on, but I'll be better second up.
Well done, mate.
Game 3, I've got to prepare. Those Broncos, good to see them win on a Sunday afternoon at the Cauldron in front of 40,000, which is just what you get here in the Olympic City. You then got the game in Sydney. I don't even think those morons got 15,000
At both of them.
for Roosters versus the Cows.
I mean, if all of the games were, imagine if the whole NRL comp was just Queensland sides, just playing, in our own Queensland comp, then the AFL would have no argument.
It'd be game, set, match.
Yeah.
But it was, mate, good win. Showed a lot of ticker, which we haven't seen from the Broncos this year. And I'm still on track. I said we'd win 5 in a row. That's 2.
Yeah.
With a bye, that's 3. We got Waz this Saturday, who were awfully disappointing against the Panthers.
They play well up here too. The
great fan base, the Waz. There are plenty of Waz fans at the Cauldron on Saturday.
Yeah.
You won't be short of a buck come Saturday at the
Kiwis love an early drink too.
Respectfully.
Open at 10 a.m. for a 3 p.m. kickoff, and then the Dolphins play after them.
7:30.
Yeah, so we play 3, and then there's a game in Sydney.
Yep.
They clear the stadium, and then Dolphins and Rabbits play.
which you were telling me is an Australian
It's
first.
Australian first, yeah, never been done, which is,
and that's-
double header.
Of course, an Australian first happens in the Olympic City, but more particular
Suncorp.
at Suncorp.
ACDC playing there in December too, apparently.
One thing I wanted to ask just quickly, and I would love for anyone to answer this, do we have a tally on how many pre-game footy matches the Wolf Mother have played at?
Did they?
Because if they're not the leading all-time pre-game entertainment,
they're-
I would be shocked. And Jimmy Barnes wouldn't be too far behind him, followed by Knowlesy.
and then Peking Duck.
Mate, but fair income, Wolf Mother.
They're
like,
great.
And it's always the same song, but he was out of control on Wednesday.
They live up the road, I think.
I thought they're Perth-based.
Oh, you might be right, but apparently they used to come here all the time.
Well, I wouldn't
The curly-haired guy.
Maybe they're from Perth but reside in the great state of Queensland.
They must have some Queensland or Brisbane ties.
Can you Google
Trell,
that?
that's a huge Trelly one.
I really don't think I'll be able to get it.
Just
but
Google.
Just
how
type in
many-
I
Wolf
googled
Mother,
it.
dude.
Just
I googled it. Wait,
okay.
what do you mean?
Google
Like, what do you-
how
what do
many.
you mean?
I
What do you
thought-
mean?
I thought you meant how many times they've played a pre-match.
Yeah, that's what I want you to Google.
Yeah,
Just
well, it
and
didn't come up.
Where are they from?
I think they're.
If I
They're
find it
s-
before
they're
you.
Sydney.
Are they? I think they're Perth.
It says Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Why are they playing up here all the time?
They'll play anywhere.
Mate, he left his fucking voice in Perth. That cunt.
Didn't he?
It was dreadful.
And what was he, mate? Like it was like I don't know what he was trying to do with the tongue. and-
Do you know what's so weird is I've been listening to their song heaps. That Joker and the Thief, the only one they got.
yeah, the only one.
They got another one or two, but that's their
They
best
do
one.
have a few.
Yeah.
They would have made so much money from it being on the Hangover.
Yeah, and they play that Jackass, the movie. They were in the
Familiar
music
with it.
video. I don't know, but I'm a Wolfman.
Huh?
I'm a Wolfman.
They've got some good tracks, but geez, they're good for a pre-game entertainment.
Yeah.
Like it's honestly like the NRL have three people to pick from each year: Barnesy, Knowlesy, and Wolf Mother. And then the Kiwi band
And
that get
Jet.
high as a kite before the game. I've got a feeling those boys from Wolf Mother
Is it-
must have taken about 7 gummies because he was cruising. Honestly,
Has he still got the big curly afro?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fucked.
he's as grey as anything.
have the NRL confirmed the grand?
Oh, mate, they're
The
probably
grand
out
final,
of money
I
after
think they
paying fucking
They-
little Mario.
if-
Who was the bloke they got last year?
Little
What's his name?
Oh, Kid Leroy. Was
Kid
he last year?
Leroy. Little
Jeez,
Mario.
it couldn't have been
little
further.
Maru.
I knew like Kid Leroy, Mario. There was an
Oh my
Mario in
God.
there. I knew it.
Fucking, if it's Peking Duck, dude, I'm done.
Right,
like-
somehow Abby Chatfield might get 5 minutes on stage.
Abby Chatfield
too.
would do a big speech about how the Greens are really
She'd
good.
end up grabbing old mate John halfway on the set.
No, there's nothing there yet.
Nothing? All right.
They'd be Buckley's chance. They normally find someone a fucking week out and they just pray to God they're available. But anyway, Bronx are humming.
Yeah.
Like Bronx.
Bronx
and-
are on.
Mate,
Like-
Walshy's back.
with a fucked
With a
knee.
fucked
and
knee,
still
which is
turns it on.
scary.
God, I needed him for a try, for some coin. And he
Jeez.
passed it to Big Shibba. He was
Fuck,
through.
he's playing good.
Hasn't Shibas... I've got to
Yeah.
apologise to Shibasaki because
He scores a double every game.
at the start of the year, I thought he was as washed up as Wolf Mother are. But, mate, he's as good as gold, Shibasaki.
It's because he's Japanese. He's got that fight in him.
He's the flying Jap.
Yeah.
He's like a missile
Yeah.
in the air. You call him
He's-
the
he
B-2
looks-
bomber.
That could be taken a bad way.
Nah, if he said
No.
kamikaze. But he didn't. I did.
No, he's not. No.
He breaks the line.
He's
He's a muscly
handful.
motherfucker.
Has
Yeah.
he done a piss test? He
Yeah.
is a unit,
He's
and I'm
jacked.
not encouraging that
Yeah.
they should.
Well, like Mariner, everyone was certain Dean Mariner would be in
Yeah.
the centres or Cobbo. And now they've gone,
Madge knows, mate.
Yeah, Madge
Tell
is-
you what, wasn't Katoni Stags in him, mate?
he was best on ground.
Fair
apart from Payne.
dinkum.
Yeah. I don't think people get Payne's
No,
stats,
they don't.
and it won't be appreciated for a while. It's insane what he does when you watch it.
I think the thing about it is because he does it every week, no one's surprised
It's
anymore.
fucked, man. Like he played on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Has a fucked quad. Went off and got treatment on his groin or quad.
He's not
And
human.
he puts up those numbers. It's fucked, dude.
He is not human.
Nah.
And what I need from the Broncos, like everyone, is when they win the premiership, which from what I'm seeing, it's just coming together beautifully. Like they are just like a nice fine wine where the more you drink it, the better it gets.
We lose that game every other year around this time in Origin.
What?
That game, we lose it
Yeah.
every other year.
Well, it was funny. Like Carrigan looked like he wasn't really
Into it.
and one of the shareholders who I was watching it was last night was like, mate, give it a fucking break. He just played Origin 2 days ago. But then you see Payno. But then Carrigan, they took him on and then he came back on.
Yeah.
He
He might have been injured or something. You don't know.
Katoni Staggs.
Fuck, he was
I'm
good.
telling you, man, thank fuck we signed him long term.
Yeah.
And the next Jonah Lomu. What's his name on the sting for us?
Israel Leo. Oh, no.
What is his
Are
name?
you talking to Karapani?
Karapani.
He's not the same size as Lomu at all.
No, he's not. He's not
not-
like him. But
he's
when
not-
I see him in an All Blacks Bronx jersey, he gave me those vibes when he scored too. He's doing good things. It's unfortunate that our little guy Selly's on the way out. Like, you don't need to be a rocket scientist. He won't be playing for the Bronx in 2026.
I mean, someone had to go anyway, so
Yeah.
And you've got that guy on it. He'll be on fucking nothing, that bloke.
nah.
Karapani,
Oh,
yeah.
he'd be lucky to be
you
on
can't-
200,000.
You couldn't sign him for 800K. Cobbo,
No, you
unfortunately.
couldn't, which
we do
sucks.
love Selly.
And it'd be good if we could get Selly on the couch. Like I said, if Selly sits on this couch for an hour and just giggles and doesn't say anything,
Might
I'm
be
having
that.
fun.
Yeah.
And I'll hug him too.
Yeah.
Tommy Gilbert, shareholders, I give you a weekly update. He replied to me, apologised for taking so long to get back. I said, no worries, mate, you're good for Monday. I've heard nothing. So he's gonna want an effing good excuse
Every week.
He's gonna want a really good excuse. He said, "Yeah, mate, what day normally works?" Well, we film on Mondays, Tommy. He's a bit like his fucking brother. He's useless as a fucking barn door.
Payne Haas ran. He had 86 post contact meters. Who? Payne Haas. That's
He's a
fucking,
jet,
That's
man.
nuts.
Pierre Cora, by the way, I'm really scared for him. He's almost $1.05 for a HIA each day.
Yeah, it's not good. He's got the Radleys about him.
Those wars were absolutely pathetic.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who's even more pathetic, the titties down the M1.
Yeah, dude.
Mate, they're saggy old titties, those blokes.
Yeah.
Like, fair
They-
income. They lost to a fucking Parramatta side with no Dylan Brown and no Mitchell Moses.
They look like what I assume Desi's titties look like.
Yes,
big,
saggy
saggy
and
Des
slow
Hasler
and
titties.
wrinkly and... Mate, like, get it together, man. If I'm the Titans, I'm signing Toby Sexton straight away just for some direction.
I reckon he's going to the Bears.
wouldn't be a good first signing for the Bears. would it? Jeez. I mean, I don't mind Toby Sexton, but fuck
I
me.
couldn't agree more with that. If you're Mal Meninga and Toby Sexton's your marquee signing, I'd just call it a wrap.
Do you reckon they should sign you, Trell? How's the hammy
Oh,
going?
he's Buckley's chance.
Heard you got absolutely folded again.
Yeah.
5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Give us the update on that, mate.
Yeah,
Jeeps
give us
played
an
pretty
update
well.
because being a club great, you've not only embarrassed yourself, but you've embarrassed me.
North's won. Beat South, yeah.
Did they? Oh, they did
Stick
too.
that up
yeah,
your
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
little Jeeps pipes.
Mate, I got sent a video. I was on the Lash on Saturday night. Got sent a video from a great shareholder of Trelly fucking kicking it out on the full inside his 5. He couldn't have shanked this thing more with his old fella if he tried.
Yeah, there were some shareholders out there. Shout out to you, except for you, Cardi, you little cunt. He said to me on the field, he said, perhaps you need to focus on not fucking talking over everyone on the podcast.
Well, mate, what I've described as... And
I agree.
Shout out Cardi, though. We'll have a beer at Christmas, bruh.
There's whispers, Saucy, that they've asked a club great to come down and have a word to him.
Who, you?
You don't need to think long and hard
Oh.
who that is. So, look, I am happy to come down and shed some light on what it takes to fucking muscle up. Because when you get 70 put on you at Yoku Road, which is traditionally the hardest place to win
Never
at 3
found it hard.
p.m. Hardest place to win at 3 p.m. on a Saturday,
Never found it
right?
hard.
You played for North. Playing anywhere at 3 p.m. was hard. Fuck it out.
Mate, well, Norse, they beat bloody South. Don't know how. South they're coming fourth, aren't
South fourth, yeah.
they? Yeah.
Oh,
Bit of a wild show.
Anyway,
Well, we
so
got-
he's done both his
Yeah,
hammies.
I need some hammies.
You done both hammies.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, mate.
You are, mate, honestly, you are as fucking weak as pigs.
We got a couple speak pipes this week.
Let 'em
randomly
rip.
from shareholders.
I'll
This
give
one,
you the headphones.
this one from Kel. We're connected, I believe. Birdo getting on the headphones.
Yeah, let rip.
Go,
Fuck,
baby.
mate, you got this thing wrapped around like your old fella on a Saturday night.
Shareholders, if you're listening on here, go into our Instagram in the bio. We've got SpeakPipe. Leave us a message, whatever, a question, or if you got anything for us. Here it is from Kel. 6 seconds. I don't know what he's got.
A nice
Oh,
one.
that was good.
Good
yeah.
on you, Cal. You're a fucking smart as the genius to the left of me.
Could you hear that?
No, I heard nothing.
Nah, neither. Oh, here we go.
Oi, Berkey, show us your Queensland spirit now.
Oh, Cal, you are a fucking moron. Queenslander.
That was a nice try, but that didn't sound like you.
Yeah, no, Cal, you missed the mark.
You got to get a bit more nasally with it, Kel. Like just you can hold your nose and it helps. And giddy up, baby, Queenslander, shove a 4X down your throat, yeah. Hey,
You know, you've never sounded so attractive in your life, pal.
Jeez.
You know what I was thinking? Sterling looks like a free-range egg.
What's that make Trelly look like? Who's more receding?
Probably me.
Oh, it's a
That-
photo
yeah.
finish. But do you like that?
But yours is red, cunt. So.
Someone, so's your face. Someone in the bar here said they asked if we were brothers.
Oh,
God.
Jesus.
Jesus, I'm not sure who should be more offended there.
Luckily, they didn't say you can't.
Hey,
Here's another one from the prickle, another speak pipe. See if it
oh, is that
works
the
this time.
pickle?
The prickle.
Hey boys, it's the Prickle. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations to Queensland,
Bang.
but I am pretty critical. I call it how I see it. So I'd just like if Kalen Ponga could catch the fucking ball. You're fucking not at Newcastle, mate, where you fucking wipe your ass $100 bills, fucking $1 million a season. Show some ticker.
Yeah.
And fucking catch the ball for Queensland, cunt.
Ah, the prickle.
Thanks, Prickle.
Well, Prickle, as you would have heard, mate, believe in Ponga, mate. He'll catch the steed in for game 3. It was wet. Yes, mate, I understand where you're coming from,
was
Prickle.
wet.
It was
very wet.
And Prickle, just relax. He'll get his fucking 30 grand paycheck for game 3. And,
Yeah. Bloody, what do you think of the second half, just quickly? Because
Oh, I tell you what, I was that close to putting the TV remote straight through you know what. That if we had lost that game,
it would have been embarrassing.
I don't know if I could have left my room
Yeah.
for 72 hours.
I don't know if we could have faced the pod.
Well, we would have.
As always, you're right.
And
We would have dusted
We
off.
would have. But just
Would have been hard.
you cannot give up a 20-point lead in the wet.
Yeah. Lucky Lomax can't kick.
Yeah, do you know what was funny actually? So I was on the phone to the Parramatta Leagues Club the following day and I requested that they actually get Zach's boots and frame them in the Leagues Club because I was like, those boots, that would have been some of the nicest looking artwork in the Leagues Club that you would have ever seen. I said, sweetheart, can we get those boots framed at Parramatta Leagues? I'll personally pay for it. It was great to see him just kicking them beautifully yesterday.
Yeah, he was
Honestly,
8 from 8 or whatever it was. 6 from 6.
Do you know how much that would have annoyed him?
Yeah.
Just slotting it from everywhere. And it's like, Zach, that's just because you're a club footy player. You're a club footy player, but when it comes to Wednesday on the big stage, our boy Valentine Holmes, like, mate, get a bigger boot.
Yeah.
Val takes it 35 back on a 45-degree angle and kicks it like his old fella. Fucking Lomax is on there on a 20-degree angle, struggling to make the distance, just healing the steel frame.
When he had that one he had the yips. Like, he had the yips. And there was that one that was way closer in from the sideline, and when he missed that, it was like, fuck, he's in trouble. The Blues are in trouble here.
It was
like,
the Hannibal
it was head
ambush.
noise. It was head noise. And the Hannibal ambush.
The Hannibal ambush, I'm telling you, one of the most historic ambushes ancient history's ever seen.
Yeah.
217 BC. Look it up, Cobber.
Do you want to get into the Book of Burke? The ancient
quickly
proverbs?
do my legend and nom.
Yeah, done.
Now, shareholders, you would have seen today the NBA Finals wrapped up.
Rest in peace, Tyrese.
Tyrese.
I had some coin on.
They
the
call
Pacers.
him Halliburton, which I don't know if that's the right nickname to be calling him.
Not right now.
Not right
Not with
now.
the geopolitical.
Not when there's fucking
Sphere
B2
going on.
bombers that fucking Donald's fucking sending up.
Not
You
the
know?
Shibasaki's in the air.
That's right. Don't you dare put me in hot water.
Yeah.
But look, OKC, they wrapped it up. They were expected to win on their home court. Their crowd, one of the best fans in the world, man. They stood up for the whole 4 quarters. Which
Did they?
You would expect. It's game
They
7.
do that in other stadiums in the world until
soccer.
yeah, they do that in
Great.
Milan.
But mate, fucking they won.
Yeah.
Won convincingly. Halliburton
If-
went down with an Achilles.
if-
He actually predicted he would.
Did he actually?
Well, because he knew his calf was
calf was-
fucked, and it was a similar injury to what Kevin Durant had, and
Yeah.
Kevin Durant played through and then ended up doing his Achilles.
Wow.
So, try and be a hero doesn't work all the time.
Before you get into it, what do you think would have happened if he was on the park?
I still think OKC would have won, although I tell you what, Halliburton hit a couple of deep threes.
Yeah, they were leading at halftime.
Yeah, so look, who knows? Mate, they're the best defensive team we've seen in some time.
The Pacers or
No,
OKC?
OKC.
Yeah.
Stick with us.
Well,
here, brother.
they were. I mean, the Pacers aren't fucking bad.
No, they're an attacking team.
They're in a spot of bother now though, because he'll miss most of
Most of the season, yeah. But anyway, my legend of the week, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, mate, just did things that we haven't seen before. NBA season MVP.
Just call him SGA next time.
Please.
Was it Shea or Shy?
Oh,
You were
butchered
calling
all
him
three,
shy
I think.
before.
Shy Gilgeous-Alexander?
It's not Gilligus, mate.
Oh, Gilgeous.
How do you pronounce it?
SGA.
Yeah. Got it.
NBA season MVP, conference finals MVP, NBA scoring title averaging more than 30 points. That's right, Saucy. And a championship ring to go along with it. Should be the face. Even the likes of MJ, LeBron, Kobe and Steph, none have done what my boy Shea Gilgeous-Alexander have done. And
Is it-
that's what we
I-
call it.
I actually don't know. Is it Gilligus?
No, it's
Gilla-
definitely not.
How
What
do you
is it?
pronounce it?
Gilgeous.
I think.
What?
You're saying like Gilla.
Yeah, like Gilligan's Island.
It's not.
Yeah, but he moves like that.
Call him Gilly.
Yeah,
Just
well,
Gilly.
He lets them through like Gilly, that's
Yeah.
for sure. So, mate, just
Well
shout
done.
out.
Well done,
Outstanding.
SGA. We know he's listening.
And they might have it on in the change rooms
Shade the
live and
shareholder.
exclusive. What I found when this is fucking bizarre, and you only hear this on OFD shareholders. 3 blokes in the playoff did their Achilles. Have a guess what number they all wore.
0.
0.
That's a great start.
Wild.
Who were they? KD.
Lillard. No, you're an idiot. Lillard, Tatum, and Halliburton, all wearing the number 0, all did their Achilles this season in the playoffs.
Wow.
And that you only get that from Berkey live and
Do
exclusive.
you
in
think he
HD.
did his Achilles because he was favouring it because his calf was fucked?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing that happened today. Shout out to Minwoo Lee's sister, Minji.
Minji, yeah.
Minji Lee.
We've all had a bit of Minji in our time. Look, she won again. A sporting leg. I'm on one. Oh, fair income. Muzzle toff. Mistletoe.
Bro.
I was turning it on for the shareholders.
Mate, here we go, as you've said it. Find Iran on here, just quickly, on the globe.
You want it's gone.
He's taking pride in this, actually, for obvious reasons.
I love the B-2 bomber. I studied the B-2 bomber.
Do you want to tell the shareholders your heritage so it makes sense?
No. Oh, mate, what do you mean, brother? So shout out to Minji, fresh off securing her third. Actually, you know what's funny? Just back onto the B-2 bomber. I can't believe this. After Donald's let go of the B-2 bomber, he's been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Surely not.
I'm not joking. That's on 9 News.
That would be crazy.
In the midst of chaos, Donald's been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
What do they say? What did that lady say today? We want to talk for discussions, diplomacy, and something else.
Oh, fucking shoot me.
Well, Donald's just dropping B-2 bombs everywhere.
Man, honestly, take the time to read into these B-2 bombers, man. There's some sort
50
of...
metres is crazy.
That's the width of them.
That'd
Have a guess what their cruising speed is. And, like, these things are...
Couple hundred knots.
900 kilometres an hour.
What? Cruising speed?
You wonder why these fucking Americans have a terrible healthcare system and only get 10 days a year off. These things cost like $2 billion.
$2 billion.
Mate, they're the most interesting fucking piece of manufacturing.
Yeah. You're up and about these bombers.
Mate, they
Iran's just been bombed into the core of the earth and Berkey's bricked up. Doesn't give a fuck.
I'm going 6 to midnight because our world.
Can you please find it on the map?
It's obliterated.
Not on this one.
As
this is
DJ
pre-bombing.
told us.
This is pre-bombing.
Nah, it's been updated. I'll put an X through Iran.
I will say, shareholders, we aren't about the innocents being involved in this, but the bad guys. There was all bad guys.
Mate, they're fucking terrorists, man.
Yeah.
DJ doesn't, man.
Shareholders, he's looking at the map and he's in Europe.
I've found it here. You know what's funny is we go 6 to midnight when we fucking win Origin. Donald goes 6 to midnight when he says, right, I pull out the fucking B-2 bombers. First time he used it.
He whips out the green button.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
One more thing that I had for you. I don't even know if Minji got her fucking flowers, but shout out to Minji and all of that.
Legend of the Week.
No, fuckhead. I named Legend
Oh,
of
sorry,
the Week.
yeah, sorry.
Minji, mate, she's going to go down as one of the greats for Australian women golf. Like, fair dinkum, she's great. My knob of the week. And you know what
Iran.
else? The Kurt Bros. Shout out to the Kurt Bros too.
Who are they?
Kurt Capel and Kurt Mann.
Oh.
Kurt Bros.
Yeah.
Like we see the Splash Bros.
Yeah. The
Never
Kurts.
seen anything like the Kurt
Kurt to
Bros.
Kurt. It was Kurt passed the ball. No,
hell.
Man passed it to Capel. Kurt to Kurt.
Oh, thanks, fucking.
Well, I
Bossy.
thought you just meant in the game, like in general. Them.
Good to
you
know fucking Brandy and Braith Alexander are here tonight.
What was that stat? What was the stat I saw? The two players that were brought into the side were both named Kurt, and then
and both Mitches didn't play.
both Mitches didn't play. So Mitch Barnett and Mitch Moses.
Wow.
Weird stat. Weird fact.
Wild start. But anyway, that's a wrap from my end, pal.
Yeah, well done. That was
crazy.
good,
We haven't even had the time to touch on
Super Rugby.
the fucking British and Irish Lions starting
Or
this
Super
week.
Rugby, yeah.
Well, and the final. Geez, we were wrong there, weren't we? The Chiefs.
I actually put a game time bet on the Crusaders
Yeah,
because
yeah, good luck.
that hoodoo of that is an impressive.
Geez, the
Stat.
Crusaders are a fucking quality outfit.
Yeah,
James O'Connor better come into that Wallabies squad.
he's not at the moment. He wasn't named.
Yeah, but I think there's an opportunity to add.
He just moved the mic with his schnoz. Thankfully, it wasn't his schwanz. Mate, I want to rip into the book of Burke quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
We got to get into the
Give
book
it
of
to
Burke.
him.
Charlie's got to go home and plug his missus.
Jesus.
Remember I asked you that
Shout out
question?
to you.
Do you remember I asked I asked you that question on the weekend. I don't know if you remember it when you were here.
Holy
I said it,
hell.
I was like, oh, we're talking about you and being married or whatever. And I said, are you trying for a baby? And then you were like, isn't that an interesting question? People ask me that all the time now. And you were like, we're not overly. And then you were like, it's basically saying, are you filling her up? Are you filling your missus up?
Oh my
Like,
days.
are you trying for a baby?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is. It's not. It's just true.
Yeah, that's
it's just
how
funny.
the human body works.
Yeah.
I think there's a shareholder having a red hot crack at the moment, but he's not having much luck, the big fella. So.
Hey, it's hard. You know,
Yeah.
you don't know until you try.
Trelly's been trying since he was fucking
You can do it accidentally,
born.
but not when you try. That's just the way of the world.
Well,
All right. Well, the Book of Burke here. Here we are. The lovely
yeah,
Book of
what
Burke.
a lovely book.
There's a pirate on this page.
Yeah,
I don't know, Treasure
no, yeah,
Island.
well,
bloody, yeah.
Don't mind
All
that.
right. So here we go. This one's applicable. Very applicable. Book of Burke, number 17. You touch my schwanz and I'll touch it even harder. Elaborate on that one, please.
Well, my Schwanz is my old fella.
Hey, schwanz.
And,
The way you say schwanz is very good.
Yeah, and I'm not
Schwanz.
sure who that would have been to. I would have thought it would have been. Don't know where to go with that.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on then. Number 18. When you've had the year I've had, you'll take what you can get.
Yes, and that's.
So what's that referring to?
Well, when you work as hard as I do, you'll
Oh,
take
yeah.
a bit of time off over.
Okay.
I'm always good for I always like to take at least a month off over Christmas
Yeah.
because I've had such a fucking
Such a hard year.
tough day on the tools.
Because going into December, you're pretty during that month of December. The silly season hits. You know you're the hardest worker in the office.
Exactly
Aren't
right. When
Yeah.
I'm working in
4-day
14
weeks and shit,
degree
yeah.
heat with my
Yeah.
tools, it's,
Sorry, the other day, this is probably could be added to the book. The other day, he goes, "Oh, I haven't stopped working since I got here, guys."
understandable too.
you?
And
What
once
else are you
I
supposed to do when you're at
When
work?
I walk into those doors at 8 o'clock and I'm not started till 8:30, it's fucking tools.
Do you
up.
get there early?
Oh, totally.
That's good. That's good of you.
8 for an 8:30
Yeah.
kickoff.
Number 19, Book of Burke. If you blokes play at Metricon, where do you train on the Gold Coast?
Valid question.
And in brackets, it says whoever so you're speaking to Radler, Timmy,
Yeah.
who you know has
Yeah,
donated the Book of Burke.
The peanut author.
Apparently, you thought he was Carmichael Hunt when you were in Berlin. So you've
Okay,
said this to him
yeah,
for context.
yeah.
You're saying to him, thinking he's Carmichael Hunt.
Right.
While Carmichael was playing for the Gold Coast Suns. If you blokes play at Metricon, where do you train on the Gold Coast?
Yeah. So I can give you some light. Now, anyone who's been to Berlin when you're around the age of 21, you would know that they don't muck around. And let's just say.
All right, so here we are, moving on. Katerina, this is it. Katerina Spazevska.
Who the fuck's that?
You said it.
Katerina Splitsvetska.
Spazevska.
Sounds like it's off like a fucking Russian spy movie. Is it actually a Bourne character?
Katerina Spazevska.
Don't know.
Spazevska.
No, nothing.
Russian? No, nothing? No, that's just a Burkeism.
Yeah, that's just
Okay. Here we go. Number 21 we are. We had to skip one there, shareholders, if you wouldn't have known, but that's fine. I've been growing since I was born.
Oh, in more ways than one. This thing's still growing the
What?
Dyson.
What? I've been growing since I was born.
Well, that's a fair comment. You know, I
I
spent
reckon you stopped growing when you're about 18.
bullshit.
All right, here's another one. This
There
one.
was
This one's
talk
good.
I could have played in the centres at
Shut
one
up.
point
Shut up.
as a running centre
22.
too.
You, whilst talking to a fat pest at the Caxton, you said, "I'll show you where the equator is."
Oh shit, a brick. Oh shit, a brick.
What happened there? Do you remember that?
Yeah, no.
What were you talking about?
I don't know. A lot of these I've got no idea, and that's why I need to question the, the source of this shareholder.
Mate, he's written them down as you've said it. Like there's
I know, and he knows exactly.
Okay, we got a special one here, which
this will be good.
Who was it?
Jakey boy.
Yeah.
Shout out Jake from
So
work.
he's sent this in. So
Come on.
here's Jake.
Oh, is it a?
It's an audio.
Oh, right.
Oh, sorry,
Mate.
sorry.
He's having a leak while still.
I just heard that.
Yeah, it's great.
Here we go.
So he's just fucking come out with an absolute belter. He's gone, obviously, fucking Otto's just got a new jacket, new Burberry thing. He's trying to explain it to Lydia. We'll leave the name out for that, but he's turned around and gone, his jacket is inconversible. And he meant it's a reversible jacket. See how that goes.
Oh, you fuckwit. I tell you what, inconversible sounds as good as irreversible.
Double down.
What? I mean, reversible.
Inconversible.
It was a lovely jacket too, might
Burberry,
I add. Was it Burberry? I think it had the Burberry style. Knowing him, it would have been a fucking rip off, the cheap bastard.
We got another one here because we had a few that were from shareholders that have phoned in.
Jeez, they're really coming out of the woodwork.
Mate, they're great. Yeah. You don't have a hot dinner in summer, do you?
Jeez, this one gets brought up a lot. Now, this makes perfect sense, and I'll back myself to the hills. In the summer, who the fuck's having a soup in the summer? You know what I mean? I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, for me, in the summer, I like cold stuff. Give me seafood. Give me some prawns, some oysters.
You raise a point. You raise a good point.
So,
now,
whoever that moron was that wants to have a crack at me about not having hot food in the summer, I'm here all day.
You have a steak or anything?
Yeah,
Palmy?
that's mild.
Mild
rare.
heat. Yeah. Now, this one as well, I've got to pull you up on it because I actually didn't even think of it or pick it up at the time. So, he's noticed it in pick and stick. We were minute 26. It was about our multi, right? So you said
This will be.
you said 50 into 700. That's 9 greenbacks.
What? 50
into 700.
50 into 700.
Right? So $50 into a $700 multi.
Yeah.
You said 700 back. Is that 9? That's 9 greenbacks.
Yeah, referring to 950s. What is it? 7.
It's not.
Well,
how many is it?
Greenback is 100 for
starters.
starters.
I meant to say pineapples.
Well, you'd still be wrong.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm so Yeah, I know. Fuck me. When was that? How long ago was that?
It was pick and stick.
Yeah, I know.
So when was that? When were we doing that pre-origin? 2 weeks ago.
What is it?
14. Pineapples go into 700 14 times.
14.
And then how many times does 100 go into
7?
Yeah, well, if you were saying that, it goes into it 9 times.
I love your work, shareholder. Keep me honest, baby. Sorry, I must have been close to collecting 900 that night.
And you were good at maths too.
Yeah, that is my strong suit. So anyway, it's mate, been a hell of a weekend for the big fella, and we'll go again. Singing ya ya yippee yippee ya. Mate, the Fours versus British and Irish Lions. I know we didn't get time to touch on it.
It's on Saturday.
Saturday, it's one of the greatest spectacles.
Well, they've already lost to the Pumas.
Can I get a price on Australia to beat them?
I think they're 4s for the series, 3 to 4 for the 3 games. Oh, did they play 3 games?
Yeah, 3 games.
Yeah, one being at Suncorp, obviously.
So. Suncorp, Melbourne.
Sydney, surely.
Oh, no, I think it's Suncorp, Perth, Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Perth.
So, first game with 380.
Yeah, take that.
Mate.
And the series betting, it's pretty much the same. So, 350.
Jeez,
Is this against Australia or?
No, so that's the series winner. We're paying $3.50, and British and Irish Lions.
Jeez, I'd be eating up $3.80 game one.
Yeah.
At Suncorp.
Can you check when they play the Reds? Because we nearly beat them last time.
Next week.
But when they came out here, I think the Brumbies or the Waratahs last time we played, they beat them, and we were very close. If you look at the game, who was that fullback? It was. I think he played for Australia. He scored one of the great tries of all time, like double chip kick, chipped over or made a break and then chipped and scored under the post.
Guy who went to Nudgee, I think he might coach down at Jeets. He played for the Wallabies as well.
Yeah,
Anyway, shareholders, as I was saying before the free range egg butted in, look, what I'll say is it's one of the great sporting.
Luke Morahan was the try.
Yeah.
It's one of the, if you got the time, shareholders, look it up. It's one of the great all-time tries.
Yeah.
But what were you saying?
As I was saying, Scramble. Mate, it's one of the great sporting events. 40,000 touring British and Irish Lion fans coming over here. Mate, they'll shut down Caxton Street. Fucking embrace it. Only happens once every 12 years. Some of us...
Sign us up.
May not see another one.
Yeah, sign who?
Apologies. No, not one of us.
Yeah.
Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, sign us up to bloody promote the thing, I'm saying.
Oh, well,
you've been saying it for weeks.
We'll be here.
Stan.
I'll be going to the Reds one. If anyone's got a spare ticket for the Wallabies, happily come with you.
Yeah, they're all sold out.
You just better be a good bloke.
Yeah.
But,
we missed anything, Bruss?
Huh?
We missed anything?
No, I think we've covered a lot. We've covered more than...
Big pod.
Big pod.
Because of Origin.
But you get that because
that
we are the Queensland voice.
You get that? Yeah, we are. You
know
get that on the big
saying?
jobs.
And we're still singing "Ya Ya Yippee Yippee Ya,"
And we won't stop.
And we'll be singing. What's the Wallaby song that the great man used to play before a game?
Waltzing Matilda.
Waltzing Matilda.
Shirley, you just stuck there with your hand in your cock there. You had no idea.
He's as fucking useful as a fucking.
Is it what?
Oh,
as an Achilles by fucking.
I was going to say something, but I've said some things I probably shouldn't have.
Cheers, shareholders. Drink 4X.
Yeah, drink 4X and back the box against the Wars.
Multi will be coming.